Hey guys, welcome to the Odyssey. I am Mike Odyssey, and well, today I'm starting a new type of format to the show when it comes to Nintendo news. I'm going to go ahead and do rapid fire topics, which are little topics here inside the world of Nintendo that I think you might want to know, but go over them really quickly so that we can get to the main stories of the video towards the end. So today we have two major topics to go over and a little bit of a rant that I want to give out, right? And every video, of course, we'll end with the never give up positive power up note that I want to share with you as well. So without further ado, every video is timestamped, so you can go ahead and use those timestamps right now on this video. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so rapid fire news. First up, we have some new icons Nintendo is offering to celebrate the Halloween season with Mario and friends. Here you can see Mario dressed as a jack-o'-lantern. We have Luigi, Princess Peach, and the rest of the characters here. They are available right now. If you are into these, collect them now, because these are only temporarily. Once they're gone, they're gone. But if you collect them, you can keep them part of your little icon collection here to use throughout the year. All right, so next up, good news for Nintendo Switch 2 owners. Right now, the Nintendo Switch 2 in the US is the best-selling system in 2025. Right now, we're towards the end of 2025. The Switch came out in June, and already is the top selling system from June to now, beating over PlayStation and Xbox as well. So Switch 2, congratulations. Then moving on, there are amazing deals going on right now at the eShop. I'm going to show you a couple of them here because, man, I was blown away when I was doing my research here this morning. Take a look at Cyberpunk 2077. Right now, it's only $39, $40, okay? Which is nuts, okay? We got Overcooked for only $4. We got Celeste for only $5. Spiritfire is only $5 also from $25. We have Dying Light for only $10. There's so many video games here on sale on many of these sales. So take advantage of that. And let's go ahead and get into the next piece of news. And I'm here at GoNintendo.com because it's, well, almost Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving season is coming up next after Halloween. And Nintendo has already announced that they will be participating in the Thanksgiving Macy's Parade in New York City. Thanksgiving Day Parade on the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. We'll have this little guy right here, this Mario, right? This little Mario character there. A lot of people are saying, hey, this is a missing opportunity for Nintendo to add a cap on it or add the little ears with the little tail, right? But, I mean, they are celebrating Super Mario Brothers 40th anniversary, right? Not Super Mario 2 or 3 or even the one for Super Nintendo. We're celebrating Super Mario Brothers, so I'm pretty sure that they wanted to make sure to keep Mario as clean as possible, even if it's for branding purposes, right? Because right now Mario is the brand there, Mario Brothers, and you want to keep it kind of clean, especially when the Mario movie is coming out in a couple of months, Super Mario Galaxy, and so they want to make sure that Mario looks pristine, clean, and super recognizable, right? Not a lot of people play Mario, so when they do see Mario here at the floating place thingy at the Thanksgiving Parade, they want to make sure it's the purest form of Mario they can see. So I completely understand that. All right, so now we're in the main topics for today. It starts right here. Let's start with something positive here. Xbox reconfirms its commitment to supporting Nintendo Switch 2. It's been out since June, and we have not seen yet anything from Xbox aside from Indiana Jones being announced coming to Nintendo Switch 2. And so let's go ahead and read here. It says the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, has told Famitsu that it plans to continue bringing select games to the Nintendo Switch 2. We found out earlier this week that Bethesda Fallout 4 will be coming to the platform next year. Sadly, the remake of the first Halo game, which was revealed yesterday, hasn't been announced for the system. Here's what Phil told the Japanese gaming site. We are making efforts to lower the barrier to entry for people to play our games through services like Xbox Play Anywhere and Xbox Game Pass. However, if there are people who want to play our games on PS5 or Nintendo Switch 2, we would love for them to play our games on those platforms. In that regard, we have received excellent support for both Sony Interactive Entertainment and Nintendo. Okay, so, you know, I can understand what they're saying there. they want to push people to play on Xbox, the Xbox first, either through Game Pass or play Xbox anywhere. Which what he's saying is that ROG Ally Xbox console that's like $1,000, right? So they want to push people to play games on there. But if we prefer to play on other consoles like PS5 and Switch 2, then they're making everything possible to bring those games to Xbox and PS2. Nintendo Switch 2 just came out. It's the beginning of the life cycle still, right? We're just at the very beginning. We're at the precipice of Nintendo Switch 2's greatness. And so we have to be patient as fans, right? We have to be patient for things to be poured over, which will eventually they will. I got a little bit of bone to pick with Microsoft because, it's like they're trying to force the entire industry to join them in their, I guess, and I'm sorry, this is going to sound failure, because, there is no need for Sony to bring Spider-Man anywhere else. I mean, they brought it to PC, but there's no need for them to bring it to Xbox or Nintendo. Sony is pretty successful, and Spider-Man is a great franchise. Spider-Man is my favorite franchise out of my PlayStation games, right? That's my favorite game. And so there are so many games like, of course, Aloy, right? Bringing her over to Nintendo is not going to happen. It happened with Lego, but it's not going to happen with as in PlayStation just sharing all the first-party games. Why? Because first-party games are necessary for the system. It's a necessary thing to have. And Xbox trying to, if they want to do this just because their system has kind of failed, then it's another thing. But to pressure other companies to try to do the same thing is just a no-no, right? Exclusivity is good for the industry. Why? Because it pushes development and it makes development better. Here, right now, there is an article from former Blizzard president says, tell Nintendo after Xbox president says exclusives are antiquated. And I have a really big, horrible beef with that, with this former Blizzard president, which, by the way, if he's a former Blizzard president, that tells you he ran Blizzard to the ground, and so they had to be bought by Xbox, by Microsoft. And that's another story that I want to get into. But having Nintendo do exclusives, really having Mario on PlayStation and Xbox, right? It does not compute. Nintendo knows better. Why would Nintendo bring their IP, which, by the way, are very, very successful, to other consoles? They have no need to. Nintendo's not even part of this console wars. They are their own giant. They're doing their own thing. They're advancing their own way. Yes, they're building a more powerful console for third-party developers to come in and bring their games to Switch. But when it comes to the Nintendo's first-party games, they are doing their own thing. They're plenty happy with how they are selling their games, how they are producing their games, and how much profit they're making from their video games. There's no issue with Nintendo. Nintendo is not dying. Nintendo is not losing money. Nintendo is not even close to folding. The complete opposite. They are expanding the theme park. They are expanding into the movie industry. They open Nintendo Pictures and they don't let go of developers. Now, when I mean developers, I'm not talking about those companies that Nintendo works with. Okay, the contractors that Nintendo works with, those are not directly employed by Nintendo, and they have an expiration date on their contracts. Nintendo can either renew or they cannot renew. And so what we've seen Nintendo do is not renew because they no longer have use for that contractor, which that contractor has developers under them or employees under them. So it's up to that contractor, not Nintendo, to find employment for these people, who lost that job that was attached to Nintendo. There's a lot of misconception going out there when it comes to that field. But that's what Nintendo does. Nintendo works with a lot of contracting companies in certain areas, and all those contracts have expiration dates. Now, some they renew, some they don't, and that's why contractors exist, to offer bigger companies this option. Okay, so Nintendo is literally hiring developers. They don't let go of developers who work directly for Nintendo. And now we have an entirely new studio, Nintendo Pictures. And when we saw the first short film for Pikmin just the other day. And so when we see an failed president of Blizzard try to tell Nintendo what to do with their IPs, I'm like, who the heck are you to tell a giant like Nintendo, okay, what to do with their IP, right? It's like saying, I failed, so I want to bring you down with me. Is that what you're trying to say? Is like, why would you even go there? Like, oh yeah, exclusives are antiquated. Well, exclusives is what made Nintendo. Let me tell you something very, very, very crucial. Let me tell you something about Nintendo that no other company has been doing. And it's a very simple recipe. Consistency. Nintendo has been around since the 80s. And since the 80s, I would say that there have been maybe 5 major players for Nintendo. Mario, Zelda, Pokémon, not Splatoon, Metroid, and Donkey Kong. Okay, since the 80s, those franchises have been there for Nintendo. What has Nintendo continued doing? Well, Nintendo has continued building on those 5 franchises year after year, after decade. And why is this important? Because I grew up with Mario. I'm a live example, of what this means. I grew up with Mario, right? I'm now an adult with kids, and so now my kids will learn about Mario, and so on. Consistency, a brand recognition. Mario is the most recognizable character in the world right now when it comes to video games, or even fictional characters right now. And so PlayStation and Xbox, they've been around since the 90s and over 20 years now, and they've had plenty of time to create characters that could grow with people, that could live on through not only myself but through my children as well, right? They've had decades to create memories. But what they've done is that they've entered this power-hungry struggle and to try to one-up each other in the powerful consoles. And then we have on the bottom those fans, not all of them, but those fans who all they talk about is how powerful a console is instead of how fun the game is. How look at how many pixels this has. Look at the hairs on this person's nose. Well, how is the game? Well, it's not great, but look at the person's nose. Look at those hairs. And so what Nintendo has done over the years is literally put a blueprint on how to be successful. Build brand loyalty. Build characters that fans could grow up with and create a relationship with, right? Because once you do that, those characters become family to people, and people will never abandon those characters and continue to support them throughout the years. I don't understand. I don't know from Xbox, who is the character, who's the mascot of Xbox? It's part of branding. A mascot is very, very, very important. From PlayStation, we're now seeing Astrobot, which is phenomenal, right? I wish Xbox would have come up with Astrobot back from when the PS1 came out, and that PS2, PS3, PS4 would have gotten an Astrobot or Astrobot Sports. Astrobot does this, Astrobot, and we built brand loyalty through amazing characters and worlds built around them. That's what Nintendo has done. That's why Nintendo is successful. Who cares how powerful the console is? The storytelling is incredible. The characters are amazing, and that's why we are where we are right now. We have the rest of the industry imploding, and now they want to ask Nintendo to do the same. They're not even on the same playing field. And so this former Blizzard guy saying, hey, don't don't exclusive are antiquated. Are you saying that because you're bitter and because you failed, you're telling the most successful company in this past decade, video game company, to just fold when they don't have to? It's unnecessary. It's just plain dumb. So that's the end of my rant. The end of my rant is that. Let me know in the thoughts what you guys think. Now, every video moving forward will have a segment called Power Up for Life. And I hope that this segment empowers you to live your best life and find your best self. Now, today's Power Up is found in Proverbs 27:17, and it says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Now, think about Mario and Luigi. Can Mario save the princess on his own? Maybe, but when Mario is joined by Luigi and Yoshi and his friends, well, they go even further. And we all know that Mario is so much stronger with others by his side. Now, Mike, how does this apply to me? Well, the right people in your life, they don't hold you back. They actually help you level up. Remember to always choose friends who sharpen you, friends who push you, and friends to motivate you to level up. That's going to do it today, friends. Thank you so much for watching. Never give up and journey on. Peace.